Oh, I'm Tits,
Hello, I'm Areolas.
and reviewing the Joker, baby.
Hell
What's your
yeah.
exposure to the Joker?
I don't remember when I first saw it. Probably when it came out and everyone was all, "Oh man, the Joker." Whoa.
You're
What about
so
you?
good. Everyone's talking about him going down the steps. They were
Yeah,
really impressed by his dancing.
they were like,
That's
"Wow, this is art."
yeah. This is the only thing they talked about was the dancing. That's it. That's all I saw when the Joker first came out. But I didn't watch the Joker until like a couple years later, actually. And then I watched it again. All that fun jazz.
What'd you think of it when you first saw it?
When I first saw it, I thought it was pretty neat. I enjoyed it. I was like, wow. I like he's like a guy. He's a dude. I understand his troubles now. I understand why he's the Joker. But he's not doing good deeds. He's doing well, not in this movie. In this movie, it's like a build up to
Yeah.
the finale. And then it's like establishes where he came from and why is he the Joker now. I think that's what I like about this movie.
What goes on that whole like old premise of the Joker where it's like one bad day can like ruin everyone's, can make someone a hero or someone a villain, but
Yeah.
I could really empathize with him, just dealing with medications and I can't afford this and I have to take care of my mom and yeah, so he was very relatable. It a little too relatable to me, I felt.
Yeah, he's got in this movie he has to take care of his mother who is I don't
Crazy.
know. I don't know what's up with her. Yeah, crazy. Crazy is a good way to describe it.
Yeah, she's crazy.
She's crazy and he has to deal with his benefits, his social benefits. What is it called when you are on a social program and they give you benefits and from the government? What is this
Yeah,
called?
kind of like state benefits or
Yeah.
government social services. There you go.
Okay,
Right.
yes. His social services are being discontinued.
Hmm.
And it's like you cannot be seen by the psychiatrist no more. Also, no medication, 5 ever. Goodbye. And it's just so cold. It's so cold.
And not only that, he's trying so hard to just exist by having a career as a clown, but also wanting to be a stand-up comedian. So, he's trying to pursue his dreams while, trying to be a good person overall. But it's hard in this city of apparently it's Gotham, right? Where
Yeah,
it's
people
like,
just beat him up.
yeah,
Just
people are careless.
I find it sad, honestly. He's like trying to do like some sign. He's like holding up a sign. He's getting just jobs. Just trying to find a job.
Hmm.
And each time it goes wrong for him. Like with the sign job, some dudes just like take his sign and start beating him up with it. I'm like, what? Ugh. Those are rude. Those are rude. Is this part of some sort of liability that the employer has to pay or something? Does the employer have to pay out now? He's since he was beat up on the job.
He's probably a contract worker, so they have to
Ah,
have their own. Yeah, you know how that is, I'm sure. Having to pay
oof.
for your own shit. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's not in a good position of life, and also he creeps everybody out by like laughing. Luckily, he has a card that's like, "Yo, this is like a medical condition. I'm sorry for disturbing you. Please
What
be patient."
What do you think of his laugh compared to like other Joker laughs? Because I'm sure you've seen other Joker laughs watching, so many Joker movie or other
Yeah,
movies. What do you think of his
I
laugh?
he definitely has. I feel like his laugh kind of evolves throughout the movie. At the beginning of the movie, his laugh is more kind of it's like a desperation kind of laugh, and also it doesn't seem maniacal. It just kind of seems uncontrollable,
Hmm.
and he's like desperate. You
Yeah,
can hear it in his laugh. But as the movie progresses, the more unhinged he becomes, or he doesn't become unhinged. necessarily. He's kind of in like situations that cause him to that causes like reality to shake so much that at the end he's just like, fine, I'm done. Uh you know? And
Yeah, he
then
breaks
that
bad.
yeah, when he breaks bad is at that point when his laughter becomes maniacal.
Hmm. No,
So
I enjoy his laugh. Like you said, it seems more like a coping thing that he does sort of when he's in uncomfortable situations. Like he'll start nervously laughing out of panic, and
yeah, there's that. There's
yeah,
he's nervously laughing. He's laughing like a body function, like uncontrollable hiccups, like uncontrollable laughing.
yeah,
It's like a mental disorder.
Like Logan Paul in a Chinese Japanese forest, like just laughing or whatever. The alien hat. I think
Oh
that's
yeah, I remember that. That was like several years ago.
that's
Uh,
years ago.
is that the one that's in the WWE or is that the other one
No,
that
that's
went to
him
the
in
Brits?
WWE. Logan
Okay.
Paul. Hmm.
Goes to show that nothing really matters. But I'm fine with that.
Nope.
Honestly, uh,
All sins are washed unless you're a woman. We'll remember everything if you're a woman and you do something wrong. But a man, he can kind of just move on from the past.
it just depends on how you react to it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
like,
If you just try to
so
forget about it.
the way that Joker reacts to people giving him weird looks and reacts to a situation, he doesn't react to it in the best way. Like he thought it was a good idea to bring a gun to a hospital, and like no amount of mental gymnastics make it okay to bring a gun to a hospital unless you're like, I don't know, like in this particular gig when you specifically are told not to bring a gun and then you bring a gun, like you can bring a gun to a hospital if you're like, I don't know, like because constitutional rights, but in this specific gig, if you're being told don't bring a gun and you bring a gun, that's basically disobeying.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So
insubordinate. Like
yeah,
you don't need your gun around not only kids but they're sick, so they're the weakest kind of threat that you can
I get
imagine.
I get it. He was trying to protect himself from all those guys who beat him up on the train, you know. And
Hmm.
luckily he was able to defend himself and unintentionally cause a riot movement within Gotham, which is honestly it's interesting how he didn't mean to cause this movement, but now he's like the leader of it.
Yeah, it's very unintentional. It snowballed pretty badly when he just had a breaking point, and we've all been there. I'm sure not to that extent of like killing three guys, but then it got to the point where he killed those three guys that are employed to Wayne Enterprises, and of course here's the news media with Thomas Wayne saying those were three good people, my employees, and they were murdered in cold blood by a
Hmm.
guy in a clown mask. He can't even show his face. So he's starting this movement of what the rich against like the poor, essentially.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh boy, you should probably be careful with that. You're in Gotham. Seems like Gotham is like incredibly violent with all the media of Gotham that I've seen. There's just so much crime going on. You should be worried. You should really be worried. You know?
Yeah, but no, I mean this. So this happens, and then here's Thomas Wayne, which obviously is in the lore Batman's father, and he's like, this is why I'm running for mayor to clean up
Yeah.
this city. That's why I put billions of dollars into my Arkham Asylum to keep creeps like this motherfucker off the streets. And
Yeah.
yeah,
They just
hmm
they don't make any attempt to understand him at all or understand his plight. And I really think it's quite unfortunate. You could deal with society not liking you all you want, all that fun jazz. But then he has like I can't tell if this is real or not. Like he has like a fling with his neighbor
Hmm.
a lot. Then the neighbor later on in the movie is like, "What are you doing? Who are you?" I'm like, "What were these just fantasies or something?" Uh,
Yeah, you don't really know until the end what points of view are his realities and what really happened, because there's uh parts where he imagines himself on that talk show, whenever he, like you said, met that girl, after he shot all those guys, he made out with her all passionately,
yeah.
invites her to his stand-up gig. He thinks he sees her there, he thinks he does great, but he actually just makes a fool of himself by just laughing uncontrollably at his not funny jokes.
Yeah, and the laughter is compounded by nervousness.
Hmm.
So, I I just find it the idea funny of a stand-up laughing at his own jokes on stage. Um,
His
it
laugh just
seems
cracks me up.
yeah, honestly, if he just kept laughing, at some point I would also start laughing cuz laughter is contagious.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's a thing called like the laughter paradox where someone laughs and then someone else will eventually laugh, and it just keeps going and going.
Yeah,
Spreads.
exactly. So, I feel bad all the time for him in this movie. Every
Hmm.
single misfortune that happens to him, I'm like, "Man, I'm sad for you." Uh, Probably the most fortunate thing that he has to deal with is, like, washing his mother's back.
I know that feeling. I've had to I remember when I was really close to my mom, we'd have talks like in the restroom, and she'd be sitting on the toilet and I'd be there just talking to her like her
Huh,
son. Like,
weird.
yeah,
Never done that with my mom.
I look back on it now, it was fucking weird, but I was like, I really did love my mom, and then she like that's why I feel in this movie the like, oh man, it speaks to me because I know how it feels when your mother fucking betrays you.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, this movie is not as relatable to me because, I never had to take care of my mom,
Hmm.
um, but also, like, I've never been in the position where I'm, like, washing my mom's back and having to take care of her and, like, take her to places to help her. Like, I've never really been in that position, but I do see the struggle on screen, and I feel bad for the character. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't I don't like I feel like even if you have if you have the same experience or similar experience uh, as this movie is showing, or you don't have the experience, you could still like the movie and feel bad for the characters.
Well, that and like life is just so unfair to him. Like he's
Yeah.
trying very hard in both aspects of life, whether it's his private life and his social life, to really be a good person, like to just bring laughter to the world. That's literally all he wants to do, and everyone keeps shitting on him for it.
Yeah, everyone seems to ignore him or hate him, not even trying to help him once. And and I'm just thinking, "Oh man, everybody in Gotham ignoring him or not wanting to help him or not caring about him at all is the reason why the Joker exists." This is actually Gotham's fault. It's the city of Gotham's fault for the Joker existing.
Hmm.
So, so he's really wanting to go on this like what's a stand up? What is it? An interview
Like a
show?
It's like a talk show, yeah,
Talk
like
show.
a late night talk show, and I know right before he gets invited to it because of his terrible stand up, I guess it went quote unquote viral or whatever. They showed a clip of it,
Yeah.
but he kind of eavesdropped on a letter that he saw from his mother saying that she was a maid with Thomas Wayne, and that she might have like had an affair with Thomas Wayne, and so he might be his illegitimate son, and so now he's like, oh man, I want to see if Thomas Wayne's my dad because I
He
need
can give me
someone.
money.
And well, yeah, that for sure. But he's on the like, I really just need someone to love me in my life. Blah blah blah. He's real desperate for love, like super desperate.
Yeah, and he goes to Thomas Wayne and he's like, "You're my dad." And he's like, "No, you're not." And he keeps on insisting it to the point where he has to get kicked out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's sad. I mean, yet, who at some point when I first heard this line, I was like, oh, maybe is it true? Question mark. Maybe it is. I wonder if Bruce Wayne and the Joker are related. That'd be cool. But then it turned out not to be true. I was like, oh well, okay, sure. It's just two dudes, I guess,
Well, you
feuding.
don't you don't know if it's true because I mean I could see the way Thomas Wayne had political power. Imagine like him having sex with a maid and then him being like, I don't want this to get out. I'm gonna lock this bitch in my fucking asylum and just say she's crazy. And there you go, like forge all
Yeah,
the paperwork. So like that's a political move right there. I've seen that shit
they
done like
could be related.
yeah, they could be like
Hmm.
I don't know. That's just me overthinking that part.
What does chat think? Chat, leave a comment below. Do you think the Joker and Batman are related?
I think they do share blood. I mean, I'm sure they have shared blood before, but they do at least complete each other.
Yeah, they do.
Uh so anyway, they end up booking what's his name? His name's Arthur, but the
Yeah.
Joker. They end up booking him on the show. He is looking forward to it because he's gonna make it his big old finale where he goes on there, does his act, and then like shoots himself. And he's kind of tying up a lot of loose ends here. I think
Yeah.
one of them's where he goes to see that girl, and like you said, she is like, "What are you doing here? I barely even know you. Aren't you that dude in the apartment across the thing or whatever?"
Yeah.
So you don't know what's real.
Exactly. He's just kind of questioning his reality at this point. And he goes to the talk show host. He goes on the talk show. He's having an interview and it seems like I think he's interpreting the talk show host's words in a negative way. Like
Hmm.
I'd say they're pretty neutral, like a little bit like maybe making fun of him, but like it's show business.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's you're not supposed to take it personally. Um, but it seems like the Joker, well, the Arthur is taking it really personally, and he's like upset. Everyone's laughing at him. They're all gonna laugh at you, like the line from Carrie. Have you seen that movie?
Oh, it's wonderful. I love Carrie.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm gonna pull a Carrie, and he's like, there's a pretty cool line at the end of the movie. Fuck, what's the exact line? It's because it's so poetic. It's like
Was it
ah,
knock? Was it knock knock?
I have to look it up. What's the
he
Joker?
he didn't pull a Carrie. He didn't pull a Harry Carey. He pulled a Carrie. Is that?
Yeah, that's the line. Actually, you guessed it.
I want to laugh
Uh,
like him. Hold on. Oh, he was like, no, I can't do it. I can't.
ha 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 ha. Where is it? I looked up the last line. Apparently, the last line is "You wouldn't get it." Oof.
Oh, that's when he's at the very end with that therapist or whatever.
Yeah, I was looking for like not the very very end.
Yeah. Not
Can you give
the
me a
fade
fucking
to
quote,
black.
please?
End credits fade to black.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness. Actually, final line,
I'm trying to
uh,
think of what he says to the
talk show Joker.
because I know he's and there's even a scene before that I really loved before he went there where he kills his mom, and I could like empathize with that because I've
All right, I
had
found a transcript. I
uh-huh.
found it. Okay, here we go. Where's the very very? Okay, so him and Murray are talking about so he's like also the leader of the clown political movement in the
Yeah.
city by accident. He's just like appointed a leader. And so they're talking about that. And at some point, uh, Arthur is being asked, "Do you like killing? Are you okay with killing people?" He's like, yeah, that's not a joke, actually. People laugh. He's like, "Oh, that's not a joke." He's like, "Okay, well, tell me about why you think killing people is okay, right?" Uh, he's like, I got another joke. I have another joke. Come on. Um, come on. There we go. What do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash? And then you get what you fucking deserve. Great line. I had to get the exact line because it's so good. Did not want to butcher it, but it was a great line. And then he shoots him, and then I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" And then the Joker is like, "I'm the Joker, baby!" And he's in all Joker makeup, and he's all prim and pristine. He's dancing down the stairs. It's like, I just killed him. I killed my idol. Fuck that guy. Oh, hoo-hoo. I'm dancing on his grave. You know?
I like when he shoots him a second time. Like I don't know why he cares to, but it just made me laugh. Like he's already dead because he's been shot in the head, but he
You gotta
shoots him
confirm.
again, and then he just goes and like does a little Fortnite dance, and then goes to the
Yeah.
camera. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty great. And then like people are like freaking out, and he's like talking to his therapist, and the therapist be like, "Why'd you do that?" And he's like, fuck him. You would not get it. You would not get the struggle I've been through." And I'm like, I mean, on one hand, you've been through a lot. On the other hand, though, is it really worth killing a person for? Like,
I
I don't
mean,
think so.
I wouldn't have okay like I would have not confessed to the murders on live television like he did,
Yeah.
like because he's on the show he wants to be on, and of course his whole plan was to like kind of just be a martyr and do himself off on the show, but they drove
It
him.
goes a different way.
Yeah.
He instead of offing himself off, uh, the talk show host made him pissed off enough that he's like, "Well, fuck you then. I'm gonna shoot you instead."
Well,
I'm also
yeah, because he
thinking,
he kept fucking roasting him and just making things worse, and it's like it's people like you, Murray, blah blah blah. And
yeah, it seemed a little bit personal. It wasn't personal now, and now it was, and now it's just like, you can be made fun of, and it's like not a personal thing. But like now we're at the point where that guy is saying like, "Well, you suck. Actually, you're like the worst person in the whole entire world, and you are the reason why there's um there's crime happening. It's you, specifically you, Arthur. You're the reason of crime." And at that point, it's like, well, that's really personal.
yeah, and you're not funny.
Yeah,
Everything's your fault, and you're not funny.
yeah. And so he's like, well, fuck you. I guess we'll make it my fault then. And now I'm gonna blow up hospitals. I'm gonna blow up everything. I'm gonna chase my tail like I'm a dog or something.
And that's what eventually leads to Bruce Wayne's parents dying as you see them in an alley getting shot by whatever his name is. I forget what his classic name is, Joe Schmo or Joe something, but
Yeah,
the guy who like kills Bruce Wayne's parents because of the Joker's actions that took place, in the riots and stuff.
yeah. The
Yeah.
Joker caused his parents to die.
Yeah, they created each other. It's another paradox, I guess.
It is fun. Uh, so I enjoyed this movie, and I it was such a it was so sad watching the first half, right? And
Hmm.
seeing society shit on him pretty hard. And then it was satisfying once he broke bad. Like I was like, yeah, you go Joker. It's the
Hmm.
Joker, baby. Let's bring him on. Let's bring him to be the president. Like,
Yeah, you're rooting for him, even though he's the bad guy, the most
yeah.
evil guy eventually. Let me ask you, and this is me just like asking an odd question. Do you think this movie would be different if it didn't have the DC universe. Well, not the DC universe, but it didn't have Joker or Batman. Like it was just a story about a dude, and like did it need Batman and the
No.
Joker?
No. I don't think it needed Batman. I think this is the perfectly good enough story. It services telling the origins of the Joker and how he became the Joker, and I think it's a good lead-in movie to the other Batman movies. I don't think you need Batman in this one. You have to focus specifically on the Joker if you're going to make
Yeah,
a Joker movie. And I like that they did focus on the Joker.
yeah. I rewatched it actually today, and it seems very. I don't know what the. I don't want to sound pretentious because I was like, this is kind of like art school, like with all the heavy music and the shots, and it's beautiful. It's a wonderful
Yeah.
movie, beautifully shot. Everyone acting and it's great. But I'm like, what does this have to do with Batman? Like, like does it
It
really
doesn't.
need?
It doesn't have anything to do with Batman. And that's the
Yeah,
point of
yeah,
the movie. So
yeah,
I just think you're supposed to watch this movie and then like watch the other Batmans and like understand where the Joker's coming from and also understand that he's deciding to do all these things that he's doing. Like he doesn't seem dumb. He just seems not heard. And now he has to make people hear him.
yeah. And that's the only way he can be heard is by being a bad person.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
No, I definitely agree with that. Yeah. Would you rate this as far as like now?
I think I'd give it an 8. That's a solid 8.
I'd say
What
an
would you
8
rate it?
too. I would say an 8 too just cuz I don't know, it's a good movie. Like I liked it. I watched it. Like I couldn't relate to it a little too closely, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just wonder like it if it of course, like you said, if it needed Batman, and it makes you think like, well, if that's the case, are the villains more popular than the actual heroes? Should we just
For
make
me,
movies?
yes, always.
Yeah.
For me, always. Like for example, Mario, I much prefer Bowser than Mario.
Mm,
Uh, Other series, I much prefer the villains over the heroes because the villains usually are more interesting than the heroes.
a lot. Oh, even
Yeah,
like a evil Superman, like an Injustice, is way more interesting than a fucking hero Superman. You know?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I want to see Superman break bad. What caused him to break bad? That's interesting.
yeah.
You know,
There's a lot more story there than just a overpowered fucking Mary Sue kind of dude that just does whatever.
what would the
But
guy equivalent of a Mary Sue be? Like, what would the
man,
name? Gary Stew.
I'll say or Harry Sue, something like that, Harry or Gary, because I know my
Gary
niece.
Stew.
My niece told me that stuff. She like knew the terms.
Huh,
She was familiar with those terms. Uh,
that's good.
but yeah, no, that was Joker. It's just Joker. It's not the Joker. It's just Joker. But we have a little game here.
Ooh, I like games.
Yeah, that we're going into, and I called it here the laughter paradox because I just like how that sounds. So we will go. This is and so for the game, I called it the laughter paradox because apparently, like when he was laughing, he couldn't control it, and it's kind of a sort of thing with schizophrenia where you can't stop laughing. I think they called it the laughter paradox, where
Yeah,
you don't mean to laugh at things that are funny, and it just keeps getting worse and worse because you
yeah,
keep laughing at it, right?
yeah.
So when I typed into AI, this is what I got out of when I typed in "show me what the laughter paradox looks like."
Oh,
But yeah, very odd drawing. I thought I'd just throw that in there. But so what we're going to talk about today is different paradoxes, and I'm
okay.
going to name you the paradox. I'm going to show you a picture that AI generated of the paradox, and you're going to tell me what you think the paradox might be.
All
If
right.
that I think that works
Let's
out.
go. I like it.
So the
Same.
first paradox is, or this is the hedgehog's dilemma. Do you know what the hedgehog's dilemma represents?
Well, if you're in a prickly situation, you'll want to be you'll want to be in the prickly situation with another person, and you guys can both be in a prickly situation together. Is
That's
that the
pretty much like it. It says here, the metaphorical dilemma is likened to hedgehogs' struggle to remain close without hurting each other with their spines. It
oh
symbolizes the balance between the desire for companionship and the potential for interpersonal harm, highlighting the complexities of human relationships.
ooh
Yeah.
I
The,
like that.
the he-
That's the hedgehog paradox.
yeah, it's interesting. I get it though. How could a hedgehog love another hedgehog if they can't be
Very
intimate?
gently.
Very, very carefully. Yeah. Tread lightly.
Yeah.
This is the ship of Theseus. Do you know what the ship of Theseus is?
It's a big ship with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sails? I don't know. I'm like mixing them, and there's one in the back as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit more, I feel
Yeah,
like.
those are just what I can see. It's when you have a too big of a ship and it's all janky and it's built with too many weird pieces of wood and it's gonna break eventually.
That's actually close. You did hit a note there. So the paradox originates from the idea of whether a ship, if it's completely destroyed and then restored every single wooden part but remains the same ship, does it keep its original identity or is it have a new identity?
Oh, that's the name of that paradox?
Yeah, the ship of
Okay.
Theseus. So you know what I mean, right? Like
Yeah.
if
If you
if
like if you take a ship, you take all the wood off of it and then build new wood, but it's still got is the still the same ship?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this goes into the idea of like identity crisis and change and even people changing their philosophy or biology. Like, am I the same person if my beliefs change or my
No,
anatomy changes?
I don't think so. No, you're not the same person.
That's an
I
easy
mean, your
answer.
atoms change every 7 like, your atoms are completely different every 7 years. You're not the same person as you were 7 years ago.
I think I've heard that
Yeah.
somewhere that they like eventually get destroyed and new ones get created, right?
Also, that's AI, right? That's AI,
Yeah,
you
this
found
is
the
AI.
AI?
This is
AI
all a.
can't do shit about composition. Look at that tangent with the moon. That sucks. Fix that tangent, AI.
Let
Add, like,
me
maybe a couple more inches to the top.
let me disclaim all of this art I'm putting is legit. I just typed in generate an image of and then fill in the blank of whatever I'm talking to you about.
Alright.
And yeah, so it was the first image. But that was the ship Theseus. Here is the next one. And this cracks me up. The thing here. This is
The
called
grand
the
fatter?
yeah. I was like, this is the first one it spat out. The grandfather paradox. Have you heard of that?
It's when you're too old, you get really fat. That's the paradox. That's why it's called, shorthanded the grand fatter paradox.
That's true.
It's shown on screen.
I can't see without my glasses, but I can't afford no. This is the idea of time travel where if I go back in time and stop my grandfather from meeting my grandmother and not be born, will it still happen because I'm able to like go back, kind of like the Marty McFly Back to the
Oh,
Future
yeah.
situation. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, that makes sense. That's
I don't
about
know.
right.
I don't know why it's in the grandfather paradox. Like, yeah, that was pretty funny to me.
There's no editor in AI. There's no human
Yeah.
editor being like, "Hey, edit that. This says fatter, not father."
Well,
So,
you would think it would know how to. I typed in father. I didn't misspell it. Like it. I double checked too. Like I don't know.
yeah.
It is very odd. This one is called the paradox of choice.
If you have too many choices, you'll stay stuck because you don't know which one to choose. Too many choices
Man,
is bad for humanity.
you hit it on the nail. Exactly. So suggesting that having too many options can be detrimental to our psychological well-being. While choice is generally considered a good thing, too much can lead to decision-making paralysis, increased stress, and dissatisfaction. That even if you do choose something you think you like, you're gonna constantly regret that you thought you made the wrong choice. So yeah.
Yeah, like I experience this every time I go to a restaurant. I'm like, there's too many fucking options here. There's a lot of good things. Which one should I get? And then I get the food. Oh, maybe I should have got the other thing, you know? But like if I got the other thing, I would have thought of maybe I should have got this thing that I got, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm. No, you
I
hit
get
that
it.
one on the button. Yeah, and then yeah, I don't know why this came up. The first time I put in the prompt, it gave me doors, and then I
Oh,
wasn't able to save that, so I had to regenerate it, and it gave me arrows the second time. I'm like, okay,
weird.
yeah, it was very weird. I put the same exact prompt, like nothing else.
Hmm.
Um,
AI is
Next
weird.
one here, yeah, no, AI is super weird. This is the problem of evil.
Is this a chess battle between heaven and hell? What the
This is
fuck's happening here?
and I don't know why the angels are black men and the demons are like kind of black men. Like I didn't type in give me black men, give me a chessboard. I put in generate the image of problem of evil.
I
This
mean,
is this is what it gave me.
okay, it's whoever trained the AI that you trained it on diversity modules, and this is what happened.
Yeah,
So,
very strange.
yeah,
And it spit out 4 pictures that looked like just like this. Like they were just variations of a chessboard for some
huh?
reason. I don't know why.
Uh, what's the paradox called?
The problem of evil.
The problem of evil.
Hmm.
Well, based off of this visualization alone, I can only think that evil and goodness are chess moves, and you have to execute your moves very carefully, or else it might benefit the evil or good if you step wrong.
That's completely wrong. Do have you ever played chess?
I've played chess. Yeah,
That's cool. No, that's pretty hot. Um, should do like a chessboard like pin up. That'd be kind of hot.
it's fun.
The problem with evil is the philosophical dilemma, questioning how evil can exist in a world where or no, how yeah, like theologically speaking, how is there a God that lets bad things happen? So, like, if there's an all powerful God, why are there still wars? Why is there still suffering? Why does he let it happen? If there's an all powerful being that can stop this,
Yeah, that's about right. That sounds about right.
this prompt gives you no help. I apologize. I don't know why he gave me this. It really misled what that was.
Yeah, that's funny. I do like their interpretations of human concepts, the computer interpretations.
No, it's fun. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Two more here. This is the Sorites paradox or the Sorites paradox.
Hmm. There's a lot of plates. You got big plate, and it's like a pyramid,
Mm-hmm.
and you gotta have all the plates stacked correctly in order to hold the ball at the top. Or else,
What what are
if
they
you,
made of?
they look like ceramic.
What this is also known as the paradox of the heap. So
Oh,
uh well, I'm lost now. So the idea of this paradox is the paradox of the heap. It arises when one considers that removing a single grain of sand from a heap does not turn it into a non-heap, leading to the bizarre but logical conclusion that a heap of sand can be made from one single grain of sand.
that's how does this picture visualize that concept?
I don't know. This is what I typed in. I you get the paradox though, right? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
concept of it. Yeah.
Yeah, a heap of sand is 1 grain of sand by logic
Yeah,
standard.
potentially. Yeah,
All right.
very very odd. Whoever Sorites is. Last one here, and I think this is
Sorites was Sarongis, never.
a sarong, not sarite, sarong.
uh
My favorite one here,
oh boy.
the crocodile dilemma.
What the fuck is this language with 2 eyes? Exist nen show crisis it send it call crise what?
I don't know. This picture is really gonna mislead you what the crocodile dilemma is. But this is what came up, and I like
He
the way it
lost his
looks.
tail.
Yeah, this picture
Uh,
will completely mislead you what the crocodile dilemma is. But
a crocodile dilemma is when you're a crocodile in a waiting room and you're waiting on your tail to be surgically attached again and you're having an existential crisis.
I
That's
will.
what that is.
Do crocodiles get their limbs back when they get cut off?
I don't know. I don't know if they do actually. I know some lizards do. I'm not sure about crocodiles.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking scary if they do.
Yeah.
So the crocodile dilemma states that a crocodile who has stolen a child promises the parent that the child will be returned if and only if they correctly predict what the crocodile will do next. If the parent guesses that the child will be returned, then he's wrong, so the child won't be. But if the parent guesses that he won't be returned, he's
Then he will
right,
be returned.
but he won't be returned because that's the right answer.
So the crocodile dilemma is like, well, if you let's say a crocodile steals your child, will the only correct answer will bring you your child if you correct what the crocodile is going to do next.
Yeah.
So what the crocodile is going to do next is not bring your child, so he will bring your child. If you guess correctly that he won't bring your child, but if you're like, oh, you will bring my child, actually no, fuck you. Actually, I won't bring in your child. You're wrong. Is
Even
that
if you're yeah, even if you're right, you're wrong because you being right contradicts the option of him bringing the child.
yeah?
Um,
Then you eventually become wrong anyway.
yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
why this is called the crocodile dilemma. I don't know who thought of it, but I just thought it was funny because it's a pretty popular problem, I guess, philosophy.
weird.
Just don't,
Philosophy's weird.
yeah, just don't fucking have your kid around crocodiles. Like it's that simple.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with the crocodile dilemma at all. You know?
No, no, or deal with alligators. They don't fucking fuck around like crocodiles. I feel like they're more trustworthy.
I don't know.
No.
Honestly,
But speaking of see you later alligator after wild crocodile, where can they find you, Mint, the people?
I do daily movie reviews every day at 7 p.m. ET. YouTube.com/ASC Presents. You can request me to do a movie at Patreon.com/ASC Presents for $20 for a movie review request. And you can go check out this link tree, linktr.ee/titsmintsalad. That's where all my spicy sites are, and my other social medias. That's where you can find me.
Hell yeah. And I do a daily podcast called That's All Funny. You can find anywhere podcasts are available. Just search That's All Funny. Do a podcast with my buddy Gabe called That's All Kayfabe. Comes out every Mondays. It's about wrestling. You can check that out everywhere. Check out the YouTube channel you're watching now, youtube.com/ at Lorenzo Areola for the show I do here with Mint. It's on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. ET. Otherwise, I want to thank Mint for being here. She's the greatest. I want to thank all the listeners and everyone. Check out Mint's spicy sites. They're wonderful, but look, don't touch. I don't know was there a rule?
Uh, no rules allowed. I don't allow
No,
any of them rules.
she's the Mint
The
paradox.
rule is no rules.
Yeah, there you go. There's that Mint paradox. Thank you all for
Yeah.
watching.